Guys, welcome back to the channel. Dawson Casanelli, D. Nelly Defense, and today I brought my beautiful wife out to the range with me.
Hey guys.
And I just done a video recently about a couple weeks ago on tips on grip, but I didn't really go over what you should do with your legs and your stance, right? And that's the foundation of your presentation. So we're gonna go over that just a little bit right now. So she's gonna I'm gonna use her as my dummy today, so it's gonna be fun. Anyway, so she's gonna get in just a really bad stance right here. Feet close together, and okay, so right now I can push her off balance that way. I can do it this way. I can push her off balance backwards. She has to take a step. I can push her off balance forward, right? So in order for her to keep her balance, she has to spread her legs apart if I'm going side to side, and then forward and back she's having to take steps. So we don't want to have to do that, and we have to remember that if you were going to be drawing your firearm in a defensive situation, it's a serious situation. So you want to have a good fighting stance. So now I'm going to switch it up just a little bit, and she's not going to step forward or back, but just spread your legs out just a little bit wider and kind of bend in them, get a somewhat of a fighting stance. So now she's good this way. She's good this way, but I can still push her forward, and I can still push her backwards where she has to take a step. So in this situation, we want to spread those legs out just a little bit, get a bend in them, and then step back, right? And that's going to allow her, now she's sturdy both ways, and she's sturdy forward, and she's sturdy backwards, right? She's got a better fighting stance. And if you, like I said, in a defensive situation are drawing that pistol, you better mean it. It's going to be a fighting stance, and you want to be able to control and present as good and as quickly and as efficiently as you possibly can. So now that we got the base here, like I said, you want to have a good bend in it. I'm not an advocate for pushing your butt out, because then you're too far forward. So go ahead and kind of push your butt out. Well, now even in a fighting stance, she gets pushed forward, right? So I don't really like, pushing your butt out like that to try to control that recoil, but get a good bend in your knees, because that sets you up right. Now your butt's kind of back just a little bit, but you're not going to be able to be pushed forward as easy. So now we're going to go into what you're going to do with your arms. So go ahead and get in that fighting stance, and we'll go ahead and turn sideways here. And put your arms with a little bit of a bend in them, just kind of like this, and step back just a little bit. All right, and I'm going to put my hand in between hers, so she's got the little bend in her arm, and I'm going to try to yank my hand out. She can hold on to that pretty darn good. Now go ahead and fully extend your arms. Well, that was pretty easy to get out. So I don't agree with fully extending your arms out, because you can't control that recoil, right? You can't lock your wrists, and you don't have a good vise on the gun. So you want to get that little bit of a bend in your arms in a downward position, and that allows you to really lock your wrist very well. So go ahead and kind of get back into that stance, a good stance here. She's got a little bit of a bend in her arms, and she's not fully locked out, because you don't want that. Again, she's got a good stance. She's wider than her shoulders. She's got this foot back. And then lastly, I want to talk about your hips, right? So you can take that step back, but make sure that your hips aren't rotated to the outside. Whether you're right or left-handed, this goes either way. And because if you present and your hips are rotated this way, your natural point of aim is going to be that way. So what you do when you step back, to make sure your toes are pointed towards the target, and then make sure those hips are locked in and rotated towards your target. So your natural point of aim when you draw is going to be right at your target. You're not going to have to make big movements to try to make sure that you can acquire whatever you're trying to shoot. So go ahead and we'll get into that position. Now she's got a pretty good position right here. And that's a pretty good representation, right? So being able to push her forward and back, she's got a lot better stance, right? So I just wanted to do this quick video today to just kind of explain your stance, right? So your stance is the foundation of your presentation. And if you're going to be needing your firearm and drawing it in a defensive situation, you want to know how to be as efficient as possible. So guys, when you go practice like it is a real life situation, so that if that situation ever occurred, you fall back on the skills that you know, right? And it was a good chance to just kind of push my wife around a little bit today. So we had fun with it. And guys, if you enjoy this content, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment down below. And we will see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.